Would you rather have 1 million people watching your content who does not care about your business or what you do, or just 10,000 people who genuinely see your video and trust you?
Yeah, the second one, have people that actually care and trust you. Because those are the people that convert, that will join your group, and that they will then join your cohort and will actually pay you.
Before we get into this actual conversation, I wanted to tell you that what you have just heard was the small part of this conversation. I have taken much longer conversation and cut it down to about 35 minutes. So every piece of minute give you something that you can actually use inside your business. So if you're getting value from this conversation, subscribe to YBC podcast and like this video. And if you find a part that you think is especially valuable, let us know in the comment what you have learned from it. That can help someone else find the most valuable part from this conversation too. You can even listen while you're working, driving, or doing something else. So now let's get into this conversation. So we have Barnabas today. Welcome to the YBC podcast. Really excited to have you here. And for the people who are discovering you for you very first time, I wanted to make it very simple. Tell us about yourself and what you actually do and what you are actually building.
Okay, I'm Barnabas. I'm based in the UK and I was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. And at university, I studied film and media, directing screen fiction, worked in post-production, edited news and sports for the airlines, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Lufthansa for a long time. And I've had a YouTube channel for many years under my own name, Barnabas Lawson, where the most popular video on there was my one from university, which garnered 1.6 million views. And recently, in October 2024, I have passion for AI and for future technology. And I was like, I want to combine my passion for AI and video into one. So I started a YouTube channel around teaching people how to use AI tools to create films with those tools. And so after a short period, I started a community. Now I have a community where I run a cohort course with a group of people, teaching them how to use AI tools to create films and AI adverts and different things. And some of those people have got their content distributed on TV networks, including myself this August as well.
That's interesting. You have been building this your experience behind the camera, right? Before this, which is
Yeah.
very different background from someone who just discovered AI recently, right? Before AI become such a bigger part of your work, what does your career look like before that?
Yes, so I started in doing media type stuff at my church. I run a media team at my
When it
church.
was how long, which year, those kind of things.
Around 2003. In
Okay.
2003, we started recording our services. We were outputting them onto VHS and tape cassette and using duplicators.
Yeah.
And but things started to digitize around that time quite quickly. And MP3s came along and all that sort of stuff. And we've got a setup now where we use multiple cameras and we have a mixer and we live broadcast to YouTube, the church services every week. And that's like my initial introduction into video. And from that's when I went to university, 2008, to study media and learned about directing screen fiction, and then ended up in a career where I get paid to edit news and sports for the airlines and stuff.
What actually drive you to get into media very first time? What is the initial drive? What not another thing that you thought about
actually,
doing it?
I didn't really have any drive to get into media at all. Someone asked me to come and help film the church services, and so that's how I got into it. And I really didn't have much interest in it. I think my natural interest is running around in the mountains and exploring and going on adventures and stuff. But as a result,
we all do that.
Yeah.
We all do that.
But as a result of serving in church, and then, YouTube, when the YouTube appeared, I started putting the services onto YouTube. Then I saw other people on YouTube and I was like, oh, I quite fancy this. And then I played around and the church camera, I faced it at me and started chatting to the camera. And I was like, oh, I quite fancy being on camera. And, the interest grew over time.
That's awesome. Okay. So for an example that you are already recording this locally on church and whatever you are saying, that also you are learning this filmmaking also. But when did the AI enter your world, and what does make you think I have to take it seriously if I want to stick with the industry that I am in?
Yeah, I was just always interested. I've always been interested in future technology. So I was watching videos about AI video since, early 2024, maybe even earlier. And I was like, I love this. This is awesome. I want to try it. And I think I always love simplicity as well. Like the less friction there is, the more likely you are to do it. So in everything I do, like the media team, my work with my YouTube stuff, I try to take away every friction as much as possible. And that's something that AI video does straight away. You don't have to go out to a location. You don't have to get actors. You could just sit at your computer and create. So yeah, it's awesome. Like, I've never been anti against it
Yeah,
personally, but I can
but
understand people who are.
yeah, exactly. I understand that. But when I ask like a lot of people, they actually confuse about using AI or maybe not using AI, but they confuse about like overthinking about their career, overthinking about their niche, overthinking about every single things that they wanted to do it. But if I
Mm.
like wanted to ask you like, there's any specific movement that you thought about like, okay, this is like not the another tool or another AI, not the another niche. That this is the industry that I wanted to go. Like,
Yeah, no,
what was
it's
it?
been a gradual thing. It's not like, so basically, I just saw it as something interesting and I was like, I want to do YouTube full time. So I was like, I'm going to do a YouTube channel talking about how to make AI, how to make films using AI tools. And then that was the idea. I didn't see it as a threat. I just saw it as an opportunity and something to embrace. Yeah. I
But
also
apart
love,
from yeah, apart from YouTube, I'm saying about the industry, about the niche that you are in, like teaching AI stuffs, those kind of things. Why not like overthinking too much? Why make you think like, okay, this is it. This is what I wanted to do. What was it? What made you stick with this industry, basically?
yeah. And so I had the idea in the year 2024 that I really
Hmm.
wanted to, it has to do, it's very tied into YouTube, that I wanted to be a full-time YouTuber. And I was like,
Okay.
what can my YouTube channel be about? Okay, I've done film and I've got experience in that area. I'm really interested in these AI tools. These AI tools are beginning to be able to produce images and videos. I'm going to make my YouTube channel about making images and videos using AI tools. It was as simple as that. And it like got better and better so quickly over time. And I was committed to my, subject of my YouTube channel. And yeah, I guess I just chose the right thing at the right time. And when I came on Skool with it, I was one of the first AI communities, I think, in video or film on the platform starting in January 2025. So now there's loads, it's hundreds.
But again, for example, if you started your channel in 2024, why you choose YouTube? Because a lot of AI creator that I know and like I follow, maybe some of them, they actually
Mm,
start with Instagram, start with short form content, but you
mm,
really started with long form content.
mm.
And why not starting with short form? Why not starting with like other platform? Why YouTube you choose?
I choose a platform that I enjoy, that I consume on. I don't enjoy Instagram as much. I do go on there a bit. I love YouTube. I just love YouTube. I've been listening and watching videos on YouTube for years. I had a
Hmm.
YouTube channel before that blew up quite well, like I said, and I feel like it's the platform I know the best. So that was the platform I chose. I also think like I've had it affirmed. You always get your beliefs affirmed. But
Hmm.
like I had it affirmed that YouTube is the best place to be because you get longer form content, more time to build trust with the audience, you get a deeper connection, and also the content lasts many more years. So the content keeps getting views. Like months later, I have videos that are like a year old or more than a year old that are still bringing in like some of the most views on my channel. And I've seen that with my other channel, like the 1.6 million viewed video from my university in 2011 is still bringing in like tens or hundreds of views every day, even now, like years and years later, almost 2 decades.
And if do you actually believe AI is going to replace filmmaking or like video professions basically in your industry?
Yeah, it's going to replace a lot of things, but there'll always be, I think there's going to always be people involved. I think, the stuff that doesn't involve people won't be as original. It would just be like repeating stuff. Like humans have inspiration that can bring out unique things. I'm not sure if AI has that. I'm sure some people might argue it does, but yeah.
I have watched some of your videos. That's why I asked. Like, so you said about in your videos in your description about cinematic AI. So like, so what is actually make a video AI video which is cinematic? So what does it means? Cinematic AI
Yeah.
videos.
Well, for me, it
Yeah,
just means like something that looks like the quality of what you'd see at the cinema.
yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you could get all sorts of technical again. You could say, oh, it needs to be this aspect ratio. It needs to have 5.1 surround sound or whatever. But for me, it's just something that looks like you'd expect to see at the cinema, has a certain film grade grain to it, like a certain color look that's consistent throughout. The characters are consistent, the story's very well told, and it just feels like something that you'd expect to see at the cinema. That's really, for me, that's what cinematic is, as opposed to like slop, as opposed to like, stuff that's just been thrown out by like a template or something. Obviously, you can get templates that create something that looks a bit cinematic, but I'm talking about creating longer cinematic sequences that are at least a few minutes long or longer, 2-3 minutes, where you put multiple clips together and tell a story.
When it's come to not only using AI or AI prompt in like video editing, in like video filmmaking, whatever you do, but in basically in all over LLM. So do you think like the prompt are overrated? People usually like obsess with over prompt, and what is your perspective in that?
Yeah, the prompt is like, obviously, it's one of the key ways to communicate with the AI tool, but you also have the ability to communicate in lots of different ways now with references. So you can add in images, you can add in videos, you can add in, spoken words like dialogue, voice samples. You can add in all sorts of different things to like try and explain to the model what you want it to do. And the prompt is important, but it's not the only input. You can use other things as well to explain what you want it to do. And one of the cool things as well is you can even have like a video like of me right now, or of yourself right now, and use that to drive the acting or the character in a scene as well. So you can drive the acting or drive the movement in a scene from a real life video as well. So you're not limited to just using text prompts.
That's awesome. The one thing that I like that is interesting with me, like I find about your journey is that you haven't needed like millions of subscribers to build something very, very meaningful.
Yeah,
What
that's
is
true.
important that you do actually think that audience size is when you are trying to build business? What do you think? Is that important to build a business that you have to have a audience size?
Yeah, so I just decided from the beginning when I started the YouTube channel, I had 0 subscribers in October 24. And I was like, I'm going full time, full in until it works. So I wasn't earning any money. But yeah, I think what it was surprised me was that, because obviously I had lots of experience from creating YouTube videos for my other YouTube channel before. So I
Hmm.
started at probably a reasonably good quality. And, hopefully my videos get better over time. But within a short time, within 2 or 3 videos on my channel, maybe 3, 4 videos, I only had like 20 something subscribers. A AI company actually reached out to me and were like, oh, would you be interested in doing a video on our tool? And I was like, yeah. So they gave me free access to their tool, an affiliate link. And I made a video for them. I didn't charge them anything because I only had like 20 something subscribers. And so that was like the first thing with just 20 something subscribers. Who would have thought with like just 20 something subscribers that you could get and a company?
So basically that you are saying on like 20 subscriber without having any audience or the like millions of views, you got your first like maybe not client but
Collaboration.
affiliate client or like people approaching to you. And you
Yeah.
said like 20 people actually subscribed from that particular video.
No. I had about 20 people subscribed to my YouTube channel
Okay.
because I was making videos already just off my
Okay.
own, you know, starting my channel. Within
Hmm.
2 or 3, maybe 4 videos up there, that's when they approached me and they were like, would you be interested in a video for our channel? And the subscription was $60 a month, and they gave that to me for free. So I guess you could see that as pay. Like back then, I was like super excited. How can a company already be offering me I was like, I've got some company who's give me $60 subscription free everyone. Obviously now,
Yeah.
if a company just wanted to offer me free subscription, I get offered that all the time. And that's not enough. Now I have like a minimum charge that I charge per video to do a video for someone. And it's quite significant. But like back then, having just 20, I was shocked and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is definitely the way to go. But then it was a long period from there until I had my first paid sponsored video. It took 9 months before I had my first paid sponsored video. And I had about 600 or 700 subscribers, maybe 800 subscribers or something when I had my first paid sponsored video.
Okay. So basically, someone like wanted to start a YouTube channel. They actually overthink about what kind of idea that I should upload, what kind of video that I should upload, and I need to have good idea, good video, good thumbnail. Then I only can like create a video on YouTube. And they things like YouTube is like much more work.
Mm.
So what is your thought about it?
Yeah. So there's always the balance between quantity and quality. Yeah. So because I had my other Barnabas Lawson YouTube channel, when I first started, what I did is I just went live every single day on my Barnabas Lawson channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost first thing in the morning for 5-10 minutes, I'd go live. No one would be watching me. I'd just go live and chat about how the journey is going with my new AI creative tools channel, what I'm doing, and just stuff like that. And I did that for like 2-3 months, and it did gain quite a bit of views. Some of those videos did get thousands of views. But what that did is that just helped me to get a video out and get a win every day. So I practiced talking to camera, creating a quick thumbnail, and I gave myself a very short amount of time to do that. Like within 1 hour of the day, I'd have recorded, gone live, chucked a thumbnail on there, and edited the description or whatever I needed to do. And then that was like practice for me, in terms of quantity, because I think getting the quantity in helps, talking to camera, building confidence, creating thumbnails, just uploading a video, and it gives you a feeling like, oh, I did something. And then
Mm-hmm.
on the AI channel, I tried to concentrate more on having a certain quality, but not like the best that I could do, but the best that I could do in less than a day, like once a week. So I committed to just making a video once a week and doing the best I could do. That takes me maybe within one day, 5 to 6, maybe 8 hours max, and
Okay.
get out the best I can in that time. So that was more quality. But obviously there's people who, if you're making something even better, it might take you a week or 2 weeks or a month. And that's the
So
cadence I've gone for.
yeah, if I like ask you that, would you rather have 1 million people watching your content who does not care about your business or what you do, or just 10,000 people who genuinely like see your video and trust you?
Yeah, the second one, have people that actually care and trust you. Because those are the people that convert, that will join your group, and that they will then join your cohort and will actually pay you.
Because most of the people actually think when it comes to creating videos or making money from YouTube, they need to
Mm,
have like more views, they need to have like more subscriber, then only they can make like money from it. But when I like
mm,
ask you, like when you first realize that okay, this is not isn't about getting views, it's about actually you are creating some kind of business asset for your
mm,
business, like making
mm.
YouTube videos. So when you realize that, is that when you started YouTube or that you already knew it? So yeah,
Yeah, well, I always want to get as many views as I can.
yeah,
But yeah, obviously, like, I don't want to get views like just for the sake of views. I want people who are interested in what I'm creating. I think that's something you learn over time anyway. Like when I first started YouTube, it was always all about views and subscribers. And over the years, in the last couple of years, 2-3 years, I've come to understand, obviously, you still want views, but they don't have to be millions. They just have to be the right kind of views, as many of the right kind of views as possible.
okay.
So if I can get millions of the right kind of views, that would be awesome.
But if I like ask you, like today, you have built more than one way to actually make money from YouTube right now, which I think that you have a school community, you are like you have this brand promotion, I would say, the affiliates that you are having, maybe some around that you are having, YouTube is paying you some kind of money. Maybe it's like 30 pound that you said, like you have your content, your community again cohort that you are speaking. Like how do you think that all this is different stream of revenue generating from one video?
Yeah.
Like
So the YouTube channel is like top of funnel. It's like
mhm.
the place where, you're broadcasting and people have the opportunity to learn from you, see if they like your content. And if they like you and they want to go deeper, they could join the Skool community. We have a community. It was free, but now I've made it like very low priced. And that community has like 2,200 plus members, approaching 2,300 members. And in there,
So
what you can do,
how long
you
it
can't.
took, actually how long it took to from zero to actually reach 2000 members?
So I started in January 2025 on Skool.
Mhm.
And like I said, my idea was just to be full time on YouTube. So I was thinking sponsors on YouTube. That was my whole thought from the beginning, that I'd just get sponsored videos and stuff. And of course, that's the first place I actually made any money, was sponsored videos on YouTube. But then when I came onto Skool in January 2025, I just loved it from the beginning. I was like, wow, this place is awesome. And this is a place where you can build deeper relationships with people and you can really learn what your audience wants. Like when you're on
Mhm.
YouTube, you're just kind of broadcasting at people. You're like on a pulpit, and the audience is like your congregation. But like in Skool, the difference is now it's more like a, like a place where like a cafe like a place where people can chat back to, everyone's chatting and you can hear what they're chatting about, asking questions, and you can
Yes.
learn what problems the people in AI are really facing. You can learn what issues people want help with. All different kinds
Mhm.
of people who are beginners, people who are intermediates, people who are advanced. And people are coming from so many different angles with so many different objectives and ideas. And you just don't really get an understanding of that on YouTube. Whereas in Skool, you get an understanding of that. In terms of the community growth, so the community has grown through the YouTube channel, but also through the Skool platform, because Skool has millions of people on there. It's grown over the time since I've been on there. But like when I have like a big video that takes off, some of my videos hit 20,000 views. And some of those videos, when they hit that lot of views, and I say, hey, if you'd like the prompts that were used in this video, you can get the free PDF in the Skool group. Those videos have brought in hundreds of people into the Skool platform, suddenly in short bursts of time. So those are some of the things that helped grow the community quickly. But then also Skool itself also brings people into the community. So now I'd say probably YouTube has brought in about 60% at least. I don't know 100%, but I'd say at least 60%, maybe more. And about 40% has probably come in through Skool.
That's awesome. But I wanted to ask that you said about you having this 20,000 views video or maybe more than that. So what does like initially idea came from? How you find that particular idea that you think that can be like make a greater video?
So I wish I knew how to do that every time. So yeah, all my videos would be 20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lately I've been struggling to get higher views, and I always wondering like, what is it? Is it me? Am I not as excited? As I'm not energetic? Maybe I just haven't found the right topic. Maybe I've not been quick enough. There's so many different things like the thumbnail, the title, or the classics that everyone always says. But also like the introduction, how engaging is the introduction? What kind of vibe are you giving off when you're talking on camera? Maybe I'm
Hmm.
seem like I'm bored of talking about it on recent videos. I don't know. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Like, but in terms of finding that topic, usually it's when it's usually a trending topic. Like a model has
Yeah.
just come out and it's like this model versus this model. And, you're just one of the quickest ones to get that type of video out about that model. And you did it in a good way that was, had a good title, a good, exciting thumbnail. I think the
Hmm.
thumbnail is the first thing that gets people's attention. So if you have a thumbnail that's super exciting, and then that thumbnail is tied to the intro of the video, like Mr. Beast does. So I have one where there's like a dragon chasing a guy, or maybe it's a Terminator chasing a guy. I do multiple thumbnails for each video, and that one's really visually captivating. It's one of the top 2 or 3 videos, most views. And then when people see underneath, a title that, they read the title, like, okay, I want to know about this. They watch the opening of the video, it brings to life the thumbnail. They're like, yeah, this is exactly what I want to watch. And then the video stays, interesting all the way throughout. And that kind of video is a video that gets pushed out to more and more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, the question that I asked, like, wanted to ask is like, you are creating videos on YouTube to get new viewers inside your funnel and whatever you do inside your community or the services or product you have, or to just warming up the audience that you have inside your Skool community. How does it work? Because what is the difference between someone who watches like your free content and someone who decide to pay you on in your community? How does it work?
Yeah, well, that's all different steps. So yeah, like the YouTube is like literally, welcome to the house. Like, do you want to come in to our party? And then people come into that free or low paid community and you're like in the party now, but you're just one of the crowd. And then we have calls every Friday. We have posts in the community, all sorts of things. Usually people that join the calls on Friday regularly, they're the people that end up buying and joining in to my paid cohort because we interact every Friday. They get value
Mhm.
from those calls, answer questions, we connect, we build a relationship, we build trust. And then when I say, hey, the next cohort's coming up, if you'd like to be on it, book a call in my calendar and we can see if it's a good fit for you. They book a call in my calendar, we have a chat for 30 minutes or something, talk about what it's going to be about, find out where they are, if it, talk about cost and everything. And then they join that paid cohort. And then once they've been in the paid cohort for say 4 to 6 weeks, whichever length it is. My last one was just 4 weeks, but before that, there were 6 weeks. Then after that, I have like a premium subscription that people who've been through the cohort, we have a call just for those people in a separate group twice a month where we look at ongoing projects that they're working on, ongoing AI adverts, films, or anything that they want help with. And, it's not just me. Everyone in there is like, different levels of skills and bring lots of incredible insights into different processes and ways to do things. And so they pay me like a regular monthly amount of money to be in that premium call after the cohort. So
Yeah.
that's how it works. And those people are the closest. They're like the family, the people that go from that crowd in the free low paid ticket to joining the cohort, because you're together every week. And in those weeks, we meet twice a week, every week on a video call for an hour. We have the class for an hour. Then we have the homework to do. Then we look at the homework on a Thursday together, review it and give feedback and everything and help and answer questions. We do that over 4 weeks. And those people, like I said, everyone becomes really close and they're like the family group and the people that have a lot of high trust with that then recommend me to other people. And when I say the next cohort's coming, they write loads of compliments and say, hey, you should join. It's incredible. It's awesome.
Do you think like creator actually make mistake by focusing on just to getting followers, subscribers, views, like comments, those kind of things, instead of like thinking about what kind of what can I actually build around the audience or the niche that I am in?
Yeah. So it's a journey. You have to start building from somewhere. And the best place to start is by building that like attraction system. So YouTube is like the place where you attract people, people see you. People also see you on Skool, but YouTube, let's just think of it like that. And then they join Skool and they get a deeper interaction with you. And that's the place where they're like, hey, I like this guy. I'd like to really learn from him and I'd be willing to pay him money to teach me to learn properly. And so that's where they then become converted. Like when I have those calls for people to join my cohort, I never sell them. They're already sold because of the coming through the community. They've already built that relationship, that trust. They've come on that call because they want to join the cohort. 99% of the time they join. And then in the cohort, that's delivery. That's where you deliver on the promise of teaching them. And if they're satisfied, then they join the ongoing thing and they give a good review and tell other people about it. So yeah, but all of that, you can't do all of that at once. You have to start with I start with the YouTube with the attract. And like I said, I didn't have this plan in mind from the beginning. My plan from the beginning was just to get sponsors on YouTube. But then I joined Skool and this plan slowly built out over time from learning from other people how to do it.
So I just wanted to ask you, like, for example, you don't do outreach, right? You don't actually go and reach out to people and speak to them and like trying to sell them whatever you like, whatever service or product you have. But for
Yeah.
someone who's actually doing that and not focusing on content, what do you
Yeah.
think they are actually missing?
Yeah, no, if you're reaching out to people, how do you prove your credibility? Like the first thing people want to know is, why should I listen to you? Like Alex Hormozy talks about proof, promise, plan. So like when you're like doing a video or you're reaching out to anyone, oh, okay, I've got like 20 years experience in this. I've achieved this, I've achieved that. And this is something you'd be interested in achieving. If it is, I could help you do it. Like that's like the proof and the promise and the plan all together really there.
Yeah.
And that's the advantage you have with making content like on YouTube or something. You're constantly proving what you know or what your skills or expertise are and delivering on that. But like if you're just reaching out to people cold, it's much harder. I definitely need to reach out to people as well. I just haven't got around to doing that. But I have a lot of people coming to me anyway because of my content. So actually I get more people approaching me than I can even answer in terms of like sponsored videos and different things.
Yeah. That's fantastic. For example, if you wanted to like start your all the content journey from scratch today, how would you do that?
Exactly the same. I would just I'd start a new YouTube channel with a topic that I'm passionate about, that I have knowledge in, and that I want to keep talking about, that I can teach people, and then just create it on a consistent rhythm as much as I can do for a long period of time. So I committed to one video per week, but if I could commit to 2 or 3 videos a week, that could be better. But I could only commit to one and just be consistent and learn YouTube and create that content every week. And then I'd probably start a Skool channel straight away now. I didn't know Skool when I started, but now I'd probably start a Skool group straight away, like a free hobby one for $9 a month, because it's nothing. And you'll start getting people from Skool as well. And then in that Skool group, you can share your YouTube videos as well. And then you'll get
Yeah.
people watching your YouTube videos from school that wouldn't have found you on YouTube. And so everything starts feeding into each other. And then you can post your some clips onto LinkedIn, and some people from LinkedIn might come and watch your YouTube channel or join your Skool group. And those are the three things I'd concentrate on, because those are my three favorite platforms that I really enjoy. LinkedIn is good because when I first started my Skool group, I was started to follow everyone that was into the topic I'm into, which is AI video. And I would comment on all of their things, if I found it interesting. And they'd say, hey, I've got a Skool group. I've got like 50 people in my Skool group who are really interested in AI video. Would you be interested in coming on a call and chatting with us about what you've done here? Whatever that thing was they've done. And I started getting guest speakers coming in, incredible guest speakers. Actually, one of the first guest speakers we had when we only had about 50 to 100 people in our Skool group, we had the keynote speaker for the World Economic Forum in Davos come into our group for like an hour and a half and talk about future technology. His name's Matthew Griffin. He's got a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. He talks to kings and all people in authority around the world. So LinkedIn is a powerful place where if you comment on people's stuff genuinely and then connect with them in DMs and invite them into something you've started, even a small group like that, you'll be surprised that some incredible people will come and say yes and talk for free as well. So that's where I also had Isaac from Diary of a CEO, who's like head of like operations, head of technology. And he's literally been with Stephen Bartlett since the beginning from his agency. And he's been into our community twice and talked on calls. All the recordings are there. So we've had like some incredible guests, CEOs of like AI companies, all different AI companies, just by leaving comments on LinkedIn and then DMs and say, hey, do you want to come and talk to my Skool group? Everyone's interested in this thing that you're sharing here. We'd love to have you, ask you questions. And a lot of those people say yes. Some people don't, but a lot of them do. And so that's what I would do again if I was starting over again. And that's the pattern I followed from the beginning.
And if someone is watching this video right now, and I know like they're thinking like, I know I should create content, but I'm comfortable and like uncomfortable on camera. I don't know what to say. I don't know like if I'm like actually ready to actually create content. So what do you actually tell them?
You could do like faceless YouTube, but I wouldn't recommend that. I would just begin just by talking to camera. You don't have to put that first talking to camera on YouTube, or even the first few times. You could just, because I remember the first time I turned the camera towards myself and talked to camera, I kind of loved it, but it also felt weird as well. Like I remember like I was at church, I was in the office, and it was before YouTube. So there was
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about putting it on YouTube. I wasn't thinking about sharing it or anything. I don't think anyone shared video back in 2003 or 4. And so I just turned the camera to myself and I was chatting and going, whatever I was saying. And I kind of enjoyed it, like, but maybe I'm a bit vain. But also it felt weird. So it's going to feel weird when you first start, whether you enjoy it or don't enjoy it. But after you keep doing it for a while, it just feels natural and you get better at it, I think. I hope.
What is the one thing that creator are spending way too much time worrying about right now when it comes to creating content, building business, those kind of things? Because you create content. Don't you overthink when it comes to creating content, when it comes to putting content, thinking about ideas?
Yeah.
Because
You just have
yeah.
to start. That's the problem. The issue I struggle with and I still need to overcome
Mhm.
is just starting. Like sometimes I'll have my script and then I'll find it easier to get distracted and do other things and actually just start creating the content and going through methodically what I need to do to make the YouTube video, creating the AI assets and then recording to camera. I don't know why there's this kind of hesitation that I have where it's easier to like surf and scroll and look at stats and look at
Yeah.
analytics and do everything else than what you actually need to do to create the video. So yeah, you just have to start. I guess it's like running as well. Like there's always that sometimes that hesitation to maybe go out the door and do that thing, like go for the run. But once you're out and you've got your shorts on, you start running. It's cool. You get it done. Same with the video as well. Once you start making the assets
Hmm.
and then recording to camera, you just get it done. It's that part before. I think that a lot of people, I struggle with anyway, this is my struggle, is sometimes just getting distracted and not doing the hard thing that you need to do.
That's
Because
that's
it is
that's
hard
how
to
it
stop.
is. That's
Yeah.
how it is. So if you have $0 and no audience today, what would you do first?
I'd start making YouTube videos and then commenting. I'd comment on people's posts on LinkedIn in the area of videos that I'm making. And yeah, you said $0, so I can't really start a Skool community, but if there's a free trial to start a Skool community, I'd start a Skool community and then see if I could make the amount of money within the free period to cover the cost.
The final question that I would ask, like, if someone watches this conversation that we are having, like after 6 months that from now, and what they actually remember, one thing from this video that we have talked about, what do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, just if you have an idea of something that you want to do, just decide to commit to it and do it and stay at it until it works. Like that's what I did with the YouTube. I had no idea where this was going to lead to now. And I really don't know. I have ideas of where it might lead to, but I don't really know. I just decided I'm going to make a video every week on YouTube about this topic and committed to doing that. So just make a commitment to make content about that thing you're interested in, whatever that passion is. Because any passion, whether that's traveling, walking in the mountains, whatever it is, I think there's the potential to build an audience, build a school group and make money around it. And sometimes I wonder if maybe I should have chosen the going walking in the mountains and trying to make content about that. But the problem is, it's obviously a lot more friction to me doing that regularly, because this I can do at home on my laptop. But the walking in the mountains, you have to go out and do that, which is not so easy where I'm located. But maybe in the future, as I'm able to, as this takes off and I can step away from it, I might build a community around going exploring in mountains and lakes and stuff.
If you got value from this conversation, make sure you subscribe to YBC podcast and like this video and tell us in the comment what was the biggest takeaway from this conversation. If there's a specific part that you found valuable, drop in the comment with tagging the tagline or timeline. It might help someone to find the best part too. If you're building a personal brand, going on YouTube, trying to turn your content into real business, make sure you subscribe, because that's exactly what we are exploring here. If you wanted to learn from Barnabas, check out his community and his YouTube channel, link in the description. And don't stop here. Watch the next conversation with Happin Branford, and where we just break down how he built AI business that generated more than $5,000 every single month through content and his community. And I will see you there.